Hello everybody, this is Kirsho here. Now, it is finally quiet and I will be able to record again. Jesus. Now then, when we last left off, Deku and Bakugo were training together, along with Uraka trying to train her quirk, Mei looking at more technology, and Momo actually, joining along with her. Basically, they're reading Yautja equipment and, blueprints. Along with Sue, she's still trying to get used to tech, if not using it. Now, I want to say that since they still are 10, they are still considered to be children, yes, but they are blooded. They do get respect, just not enough. Basically, like how you would treat any other child, or how any other adult would treat a child, with them listening to them, but just shaking them off immediately, ignoring them. So they could be giving orders to someone who is unblooded, and the unblooded will just not follow, pissing them off, which they just don't care about. They would basically try not to make a scene, and they would just leave it alone, as they can prove themselves through combat instead of just getting mad. Now, this is whenever the elder would actually walk into their training room. Everyone would immediately just jump to their feet and greet the man properly, as the man would just say one thing. They have a bit of a challenge now. In fact, there is another human, if not two in space. They are unidentified. One of them has a quirk, if not both of them. Not just that, we believe they were trained by other bad bloods. These two are, a bit jumpy, as you can say. One of them seems to be alien-like, the other one, not. Acidic. While the other one seems to be different. But that isn't important. That is going to be a mission for later. This one takes top priority, as they would immediately just show a screen with a planet. This is Planet 4. This planet is home to what you may call your creators, or your gods. Everyone's just confused. What? Well, you see, as someone would just immediately throw on screen, showing that humans and engineers are genetically identical. Showing off that humans were once, they were created. That's a bit of a shock to everyone in that room, as they're basically going to meet their own creators. And this is whenever the elder would just calmly say that you're not just going to meet them, you're going to kill them. They believe that every other species out there they've ever made is a genetic wrong. They only have one subspecies, but even then, they've been long gone. That planet has also been quarantined. But this one, however, you have engineers left. I believe 2 or 3. But this will be your biggest challenge. Along with one thing. As the elder will promptly just hold up his hand, extending it to Deku. I will be giving you a small ship. Free roam. Whatever you can do with it. But just do one of these 2 missions first. If you disobey, you may have to stand trial. But you are already going to have to face something after that. After? Yes, sadly. Explaining it to other Yautja and trying to convince them that you have potential, they won't listen to me. I am a young elder. Well, relatively. I'm only 918. Yes, I'm making that joke. Very shitty, but it fits. Now, This is whenever Deku, he's just staring at this man in complete another what the hell. With that, the man will go on saying that if they can kill the engineers, then the people might actually take them seriously. Along with that, take out, if not capture, these humans. They are going to be a very big annoyance. Now then, after hearing that, Deku, he would just nod and take everyone with him. May is still looking at blueprints as Deku would just basically have to pull her away from them. As he also does tell her that she can take them with her. But bring that gun. Oh, you mean this? As she would just immediately show it, basically show it to him. It's down by her wrist blade. Deku sees it and he basically goes to grab it. As soon as he touches it and tries to pull it off, it will not come off. He's a bit confused as she would just, turn her hand away or turn her wrist a certain way, and it would immediately just demagnetize, actually just somewhat coming out like it's attached to the gauntlet by metal wiring, showing that she has full control over it. Now then, with that being said, this is whenever they would all pack onto the ship and leave. Now, this is whenever people are asking the Elder exactly what does he mean. Sending them after an engineer might as well be suicide. Along with other humans, this is beginning to get annoying. Yes, how do you think I feel? But this other human that I've heard about, she's an anomaly. It seems like she does share DNA with the alien, but she also does not. Genetic similarities. Change in eye color, change in, I believe it's a bit more different than we may have first established. Now, back over Deku's team. They are all flying over to Planet 4 as Deku's putting in the coordinates and then setting on to autopilot. Hang on, actually. Okay, now, as Deku's set on the autopilot, he immediately turns around as he begins to actually start messing with his gear a little. Somewhat tweaking his mask and starting to, mess with it. They're immediately looking at him as he's doing this. He is putting things into proper order, as everyone is also doing the same with their gear, checking it and making sure it's perfectly fine. This is whenever someone would finally break the silence, as I want to say Uraka would say one thing. So, exactly the humans out in space, as everyone just looks toward her. She immediately somewhat freezes as she just begins talking again, with a bit more confidence in her voice. We should go after them first. Well, let's see. As Deku just turned his chair back around, putting in more information. He sees the documents that they have stockpiled on the ship, along with the information about the humans. He finds that one of them, the girl with the acid quirk. Her skin is pink, and her name is, it's not on file, but it's at least shows us a picture of her, as he would just throw up a picture to everyone's face mask. They would all look at it and see exactly what she looks like. Now, with that, Deku, he would just immediately say this is her, along with the boy with the other quirk. Apparently he has, as Deku puts in more things, finding this a bit more interesting. Hardened skin. Well, this has got a bit more interesting. Hardened skin. As Baku immediately just looks toward Deku. Do you think possibly? As people just look at Deku. they immediately just watch him actually putting in more coordinates and actually changing course. As soon as they do, a Yaoja actually does call them, if not try and get into contact, asking why did they turn off the autopilot. These humans that we're looking at, we looked at their files and they're actually a bit interesting. So we're dealing with them first. If we can at least help them, they might help us. Besides, we are going after engineers. Even you have trouble with them. As the Yaoja is about to, yell at Deku, Deku just hangs up on him. You really think it's a good idea to piss them off? Why? Well, they can try and kill us. And we can defend ourselves. Touché. Now, they would all eventually arrive on a different planet, which is a regular hunting ground. The predators that do get into contact with Deku's ship, they're a bit weirded out to find that this is humans are on it, and they're able to use the Yaoja technology and speak it. They would just ask questions as Deku would just send an incoming signal, telling him that this elder needs him here to basically examine these humans. If not, interrupt their hunt, sadly. But they can fight him, as he is a better prey. Even then, they might actually get a good workout. Now, the Yaoja hearing this, he just starts laughing. As Deku would just say that they don't think he's being serious. Well, I'll tell you one thing then. The girl's quirk you're hunting with the acid one, mine is better. As the Yaoja just suddenly stops. He's a bit more interested to hear about this, as this kid knows their quirks. So that means he truly is in contact with an elder. My quirk is adaptation. I can adapt to any environment you set me in. If not, adapt to any prey or predator I'm fighting against. As the Yaoja's just staring down at his stream more. He's been having a bit of a bore with just gathering regular trophies. As he just looks at his wall. You see just alien skulls, certain other predator skulls that are basically people who challenged him for his rank, and some human. I want to say even, probably some humans with electrical quirks or mutation quirks, but they would still be nonetheless humans. With that being said, he would just say that if they can at least beat him, then he will do so, releasing them into Deku's custody. Now, Deku would just say that he can get them off the planet first. This is whenever the Predator would just say no. If he can hunt, basically they're going to be hunting them down, or he'll be hunting them down as they are still on the planet. As Deku would just walk over to an escape pod, ejecting all and shooting down toward the planet. The Predator doing the same. Everyone's just watching as they're wondering if this is the right course of action. Now, meanwhile, over with Mina and Kirishima. These two are still running through the forest as they are being chased by a dangerous predator. This is, I want to say, a dinosaur. If not, let's just say it's a velociraptor. Before anyone says that velociraptors are actually the size of basically around the size of a chicken, I am well aware. But let's just say genetic editing to make stronger and actual fun prey to hunt. So these ones are about the size of the ones in Jurassic Park, to be a bit more accurate. Now then, if not, they're a bit bigger. They're running through as they are trying to hide, if not get somewhere safe. Kirishima is just confused as he's just saying that this is crazy and it's completely stupid what's been happening. They've been stuck on the planet for about a week, as they are now out of food, out of supplies, and they just lost a good campfire and some water filters, if not their canteens. With that, they are also a bit, warn. Yeah. They would just hear something as they would be looking up. They start running in that direction as they see something fall out of the sky. As that happens, there is another sound. They look up again to see another thing fall out of the sky, realizing that this may be more predators. Kirishima, he's been able to at least hold off one before, but even then, that did not guarantee safety, as all he did was break the predator's gear by hardening his skin as much as he can. But even then, it cut through him pretty good. So, Kirishima, he is just running. They start running in the direction of the first pod that fell, as they're still being chased. Now, they would eventually come over to it and find it's closed. As the dinosaur is closing in on them, it immediately just lunges toward Mina, as the pod opens and Deku just jumps forward, grabbing the dinosaur by the neck. As he immediately slams it down onto the ground and stabs into it with his knife. These two are immediately in shock as Deku turns around and looks at them. Mina immediately brings her hands up, throwing out a wave of acid as a reflex as Deku just dodges to the left. He would just take off his mask and just say that that's not really good. You're human. Well, of course I am. Now, I see that you guys need help. But one thing. Hide up in the trees. How are we supposed to even get up there? Why? What is going on? Well, you see, I'm here to save you. Save you two. Even then, I've heard about both of your quirks. You're just like an alien. A what? And you might be just like me. Just like you. So I can do all this crazy crap? Probably, but I've been doing this for years. Huh? As Deku would just say, they need to at least hide in the pod then. As Deku would just stuff these two in there and close it up. Now, with that, Deku would just turn around, putting his mask back on, as these two watch him immediately get into a running stance and take off running. He's going pretty fast as Deku immediately gets on all fours and begins to run like a dog, if not run like a lion. He's doing that he was actually just jump up and actually just climb up onto trees, essentially just jumping off them and, well, leaping as fast as he can. He begins to jump through the forest this way, as the predator is trying to find him. The predator is scanning for live prey, but Deku, he's using, well, not a cloaking mechanism, he's using natural camouflage, along with the fact that his body, knowing how hot the planet is, it would lower his temperature, if not his internal body temperature. Now, with that, Deku, he's able to at least camouflage from his, well, infrared, because it was scanning for heat signatures. While Deku is, well, coming down on him. Deku is now directly, 10 feet away from the predator, as he is just holding still and staying frozen on the ground floor. As that's happening, the predator is still looking around, trying to find this prey, because he's realizing that he has not seen this kid for about 10 minutes, and they've both landed. So that means he probably just took the prey and left, as he would take off his helmet and begin to roar. Deku, hearing this, would just hear that the predator is actually calling for Deku. As Deku, he immediately begins to move. As soon as he does take a step away, the predator just immediately turns, throwing a knife. Deku, he would immediately just dodge it as he actually does throw his own back at the predator. The predator would bring his hand up catching this knife, as he actually just look at it, seeing that it's, well, the knife someone earns after a kill. With that, he knows that this kid's not messing around, as he begins to charge toward Deku. Deku charging towards him. Deku immediately brings out his spear as he just extends it out, forming it into two pieces, making it longer, if not making it a long spear. He's able to hold on to the grips while these two are about, I want to say, on both sides after Deku's holding the grip outward in front of his hand, I want to say it's about 3 to 4 feet on each side. So Deku's at least able to, well, get a good hit in from a distance. As Deku's using this, he's holding onto it as he keeps trying to stab into the Predator and basically just doing that. That's not working as the Predator just keeps dodging and dodging Deku. Deku, he just immediately grabs the two pieces and sides, sliding the two together, breaking them apart into two swords. As Deku and the Predator begin to basically fight on the tree line. Everyone on the ship is looking down, while basically looking on the screen, watching the hunt from overhead. People are just watching as they didn't even know Deku's spear can do that. Well, he is learning more about it. Plus, I'm pretty sure he has a couple more tricks up his sleeve. Tricks? Well, yes. As Deku, he's fighting with the Predator. The Predator is using his wrist blades as Deku's actually forcing him to be defensive. As the Predator actually somewhat begins to, well, laugh, calling Deku at least a good fight. Deku, he would have just somewhat told the Predator that that's not it, as he would have just be holding the Predator's blades, and he actually does, well, he moves his hands downward, basically sandwiching the blades together, as he actually does smash the two blades on the wrist gauntlet together, grabbing his arm, flinging him over him, sending him down, crashing to the desert, well, the forest floor. In doing so, Deku would immediately lunge towards him, actually does stab his spear, if not both his swords, into the Predator's chest. As soon as he does that, he immediately just brings his hand out, well, his leg out, smashing it down to the Predator's left arm, as he actually does do the same by smashing him, well, basically just taking his wrist blade and stabbing it into his right arm, as he just disarms him. He would just tell him that that was a good fight. In fact, the only other opponent he's fought like that against is one of his closest friends. You have fought well, and I will give you honor. As he would just bring out his blades, and the Predator would just say that, for being a human, you are a tough bastard. You've actually earned my respect. And in fact, I will take this death, as it is the best I can see. As Deku brings his wrist blades down, killing the Predator. And, well, putting his body back into his pod, sending it up to the ship. As the Predator would come back up to the ship, and eventually his autopilot would take him back home, along with sending a message that the Predator died in combat. Or basically his hunt was successful. Eventually someone would find his body. All I know is it would stay in his ship. Now, Deku, he would turn around as these two are in front of him. Mina is still trying to question Deku, and so is Kirishima. Kirishima is just asking how the hell is he human? Well, that's a long story, but for now, let's at least get back up to my ship. Wait, you have a ship? Yes, it's actually over in orbit, as Deku would just put his hand up, waving it down. As they're kind of confused. The ship would come down, and this is whenever Bakugo, Mei, Uraka, Momo, and Sue would reveal themselves. And they're a bit confused as they see all these people who have a lot of scars, are hardened by combat, and are covered in an arsenal of weaponry. Kirishima would just somewhat be in shock as he just asks exactly what are they. How long have you been in space? Space? What do you mean? How long have you been here? About a week. And when were you last on Earth? About a week? I figured. Well. Let me tell you one thing. What's your name? Oh, my name's Kirishima. Kirishima. We've all been in space for years. In fact, this isn't the first time we've been on a planet like this. As they would just watch as Deku, his hands and his body does get a little less scaly and actually clawful, as he reverts back to looking like an entire human. Now then, as they see that, they're just asking Deku what his quirk is. Deku would just say that his quirk is adaptation. Along with that, we need to leave. Oh. Now, Deku, he would say that as he would pick up the raptor's body and take it back onto the ship. Because they will need food. Now, with that being said, Deku, he just sits back down at the computer as he actually just typed in the coordinates for LV-426. Well, not LV-426, Jesus, Planet 4. My mind does not want to work on me. Won't work with me. Jeez. Now, as these two are just, well, still confused. Exactly why don't you go back to Earth? Huh? Well, it's just, you're from Earth, right? Yes. Did we not make that clear? Well, I mean, you somewhat did, it's just, well, can you please explain to me what the hell? Oh, as Bakugo would just stand up. Long story short, Red, or actually no, he would still have black hair. So he wouldn't call him Red. Let's just say he would call him, crap. Long story short, Kirishima, we were all taken whenever our quirks first manifested. You're joking. Well, not really. In fact, the only one here, besides you two who are taken later, is her. As he would just point to May. May would just look up from her tech as she just gives a wave. As she just looks back down at it. So again, why don't we go back to Earth? Well, because the Yaoja who own this actual ship, they will initiate the self-destruct, killing all of us if we even head a millilight year toward Earth. A what? The second we turn back and start heading that direction, they can kill us at any time. So, you just do what they say? Well, not really. Actually, a lot of them have to listen to us. I'm still confused. Don't be. You'll kill your first xenomorph eventually. What's a xenomorph? Basically her, but with hardened skin and exoskeleton and a tail. Along with sharp claws, sharp teeth, and an inner mouth. Huh? As Bakugo, he would just say, just sit down and listen to this. As he would just put his helmet on a Kirishima, he would somewhat freak out. As Bakugo would just start giving the helmet voice instructions. Along with Momo basically helping Mina, or, well, Uraka helping Mina do the same. Basically give them an entire history lesson on these species. Now, they are now heading for LV-426. Oh wow, that was a long episode. I said LV-426 again. Planet 4. Jesus. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I got a little too into it. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy the video, I'm glad. But, yeah. Anyway, guys, I do hope you enjoyed the video and have an amazing day. This is starting to get annoying because I keep saying one thing when I meant the other. I'm gonna go make some tea.